In my youth, like, my big dream originally was to become a pilot, you know? Like, I was in Air Cadets and the Flight Scholarship Program and all that. But then it was around the time I was like 14, 15 that the paths started to really diverge, you know? So part of being an Air Cadet is you can't have long hair. But I wanted to have long hair. So it was like a very, very distinct point, you know? It was like either the life of being a military pilot or something, or be like the long-haired musician. And I had to make a solid choice there, and I decided to be a musician. I'm born in Prince Edward Island, but I grew up in New Brunswick. And you know, when you tell somebody you're from the East Coast, they like almost always assume you play music or sing or something, because it's just such a musical culture. So being in that environment, it was just natural that I would gravitate to that. Right down the center, call up your friends for a casual band, just tripping and slipping. I first started playing guitar, probably, it's hard to remember now, it's been so long, but probably about 10 or around that age when my father gave me a guitar, and he actually bought the guitar from my great-grandmother, so there's that link there as well. And that's when I picked it up. My father was a big influence on that. It taught me everything I needed to know to start, and it was, yeah, from there, those early days, man. In terms of earliest influences, you know, I started gravitating towards the music that my father appreciated and kind of showed me, and that just happened to be hard rock, you know. Like Black Sabbath was probably my favorite band starting out, and that's what really got me into heavy music. And yeah, I grew from that kind of heavy rock sound into metal. I loved metal for a long time. I was a big fan of the Granny Rhodes, and that was a big influence on me. But yeah, for the longest time it was just hard rock, metal, anything with a lot of guitars in it, you know. But I've always craved for more complex sounds, and I've always enjoyed discovering new things. So eventually I gravitated towards music like jazz, just because of its complexity. It was something I resonated with. It was kind of puzzle that you kind of sought to solve, you know. So with jazz became a big part of my life. Yeah, and eventually I went to school for music in New Brunswick, the same university that James and I met. Ultimately, I think the origins of Thrust are rooted in the origins of each individual of the band. Yeah, we could tell the story about how we all met and everything, but we all have stories that grow so deeper before that, and who we are as musicians now are a reflection of those experiences. Thrust just gives us a vessel to express ourselves collectively and get our own histories out there. So as much as we have a history together, you know, we also have a history as individuals, and what makes us so successful is the ability to express ourselves as individuals within that vehicle. So that's what Thrust is for me, you know. It's a vehicle for our individual creativity, and we put it combined and it just becomes something greater, you know. Don't be a coward, wait and see. Not that it matters, but you should be flattered. Don't be a coward, wait and see. If you think you should be moving on, whoa, well, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I like to think that we don't have too many fears in our band. we confront reality, even though it may be stark, especially given our current circumstances. But ultimately, I believe we do have a lot of hope in the band, and what we're hoping for is something better. We could want success, you know, every band wants success, but we have to ultimately define what success means for us. And for me, success for me is just achieving new plateaus of creativity and removing the barriers for us to put ourselves out there. And if other people can appreciate that, then that's success, you know. If enough people are interested in what we're doing and our lives and experiences and what we have to say, then that's success for me. It's hard to say, you know, what worldwide success means as a band now. And we think with the way things are and the levels of interconnectivity that we have, that this kind of world domineering concept is possible. But for me, I don't even know if the world exists anymore, man. All I see is many different worlds, and it's our jobs as artists is to create or expand the landscape of our own world. And if we can bring people into that landscape, then that's success for us.